It's a monumental day across the country as this afternoon we witnessed a total solar eclipse.
Yes, it was so cool to see everyone out and about wearing their glasses. This is such a big deal because we won't see another total eclipse until the year 2317.
That's a long time away, but it's also been a long time since the first total solar eclipse was even reported in the United States, which took place back in 1778.
And our next best solar event will be a partial eclipse, which won't come for another 20 years. Good evening. Thank you for joining us on ntTV Nightly News. I'm Kennedy McGregor.
And I'm Omar Martinez. Thousands of people traveled to Texas from across the nation and the world just to get a glimpse of the eclipse. Our assistant news director Avery Callens caught up with NASA scientists and eclipse fans viewing a special event here at the UNT Frisco campus.
The 2024 solar eclipse is one of the rarest of its kind, with the next one occurring in 21 years. While people are traveling from all over the world to see the eclipse, NASA scientists will be working during the eclipse to record this remarkable historical event.
NASA's solar eclipse studies will occur on all levels of altitude and will provide new data on a wide range of subjects. I spoke to NASA scientist Noah Petro to learn more about these projects and took a trip to Texas' only NASA Space Center in Houston to learn all I could straight from the experts.
So what is the biggest NASA goal that y'all are going to be working towards during this eclipse? Is it going to be trying to measure the sun like you said, or is it going to be a bunch of little bitty projects?
It's going to be a bunch of projects. You know, understanding where the path of totality falls on the face of the Earth is one thing. NASA will be launching balloons, suborbital rockets into the path of totality to understand how the Earth's atmosphere responds to this change.
Studying Earth is just the beginning, as NASA is taking this opportunity to learn more about some of the hottest space topics.
Later this year, NASA's Parker Solar Probe is going to make it closer to the sun than it ever has before, making history. Can you tell me more about this amazing mission?
Yeah, the Parker Solar Probe is this really remarkable experiment that NASA has been operating for several years that orbits the sun. Coming up this year, we'll actually take the spacecraft closer to the sun's surface than we ever have before. You know, something that a decade ago we might have thought was impossible is going to be possible now with this remarkable mission, and the remarkable people who operate the mission are going to guide it safely through the sun's atmosphere.
While people in Houston might not be able to see the eclipse in full totality, NASA Space Center Houston is holding a number of solar eclipse events. This includes presentations from esteemed scientists, interactive events, and a magnificent viewing party.
From mini labs set up to show the eclipse dynamics to fascinating presentations and artistic interpretations, NASA had much to offer for eclipse enthusiasts. People have traveled to Texas from all over the world to take in all the solar eclipse has to offer.
I'm from Baumholder, Germany.
We are coming from Florida.
I'm from Costa Rica, right?
All three of these eclipse enthusiasts will then make another trip to see the path of totality, taking them on a full space-driven Texas tour.
And we're heading to San Antonio this evening.
What is the name of the city? We're gonna be in Ennis.
It's in a place called Ennis.
While these activities are a blast, NASA's most important goal during this solar eclipse is to continue their work in pushing humanity further than ever. With North Texas Television, I'm Avery Callens.
Well, the weather today was absolutely perfect. So bright and sunny, right, Omar?
I don't know, it looks pretty dark to me.
Yeah, I don't think you'll be needing those anymore for a long time. But you know what you will be needing? I actually don't know. But our weather anchor, Cade Clyde, has the scoop on all the upcoming weather. Cade?
Thanks, guys. Well, that solar eclipse was absolutely beautiful this afternoon. Unfortunately, I have some severe storms in the mix for tonight and tomorrow. I will get to that momentarily. As we look toward our current conditions across Denton right now, it is currently 79 degrees, feeling like 82. Winds are out of the east-southeast at 8 miles per hour, and it's currently partly cloudy skies. As we look toward tonight, things are going to cool down to a cool 63 degrees, feeling like 56. Winds are out of the east at 8 miles per hour, and we're going to have some severe storms tonight. Looking at those severe weather risks for tonight, we're going to have an enhanced risk, about 3 out of 5. Going to start at 9 p.m. and go till 3 a.m., a long period of severe weather for tonight. The risks are going to be large hail, 2+ inches in diameter, looking at golf ball to tennis ball. So make sure your car is secured safely indoors or in some sort of parking garage. Damaging winds are also a factor, and we cannot rule out a tornado. As you look toward tomorrow, we're going to have a 68-degree for the temperature, wind feeling like 67. Winds are out of the east at 10 miles per hour, and we're going to have some strong storms as well for tomorrow. Again, a slight risk, not as strong as tonight, but still going to be strong. The risks for tomorrow are going to be large hail, damaging winds, and again, we cannot rule out a tornado. And that is all I have for you weather right now, but stay tuned for your look at your local radar and your 7-day forecast coming up in just a few minutes.
Thanks, Kay. Well, rain and storms in the spring is something we all expect. The problem is the pollen.
I know, I'm lucky I don't have any allergies, but a lot of folks are really suffering.
Yeah, that's so true. I'm one of those sufferers. Let's go to our ntTV live shot reporter, Elizabeth Moreno, with more on the situation. Elizabeth?
Thank you, guys. Allergy season is in full effect in Texas, and with Denton being in a state known to have many allergens, here is what to expect. Tree pollen is pretty moderate for today and will be even lower tomorrow, while grass pollution is at an all-time high and will be pretty moderate for tomorrow. And for those of you concerned with ragweed pollution, rest assured there will be none for the next 3 days. Aside from keeping up with the pollen report, North Texas residents with allergies should also keep in mind the following tips to manage appropriately. First, be sure to shower after being outside, as this will allow you to remove any pollen picked up. Also, minimize your indoor pollution. Use an AC or an air purifier and keep your windows shut. And lastly, be sure to talk to your medical provider about any medications for controlling your allergies. Allergies tend to be at an all-time high during the months of March through May, the springtime months. That's all I have for you guys today. Back to you at the desk.
Thanks, Elizabeth. Do you need your student loans forgiven? Chelsea has all the details.
And in Denton, violent crime is down. But what else has seen an increase? We'll let you know after the break.
One, two, three.
Mom, Dad, I got it.
You're right, Mom. I have.
Board a Southwest Airlines flight yesterday. The plane left Denver and was headed to Houston, but after just a few minutes in the air, the pilot had to return to Denver and make an emergency landing. CNN's Lancey Aguirre has more.
Not what you want to hear when you've just taken off in an airplane, and not what you want to see. The cover flying off the engine. This was on a Southwest Airlines jet shortly after takeoff from Denver Sunday.
It's only by the grace of God that he got the message. He was calm, kept everybody else calm, and we landed safely.
High praise for the pilot who circled back to Denver safely for an emergency landing.
Am I green now?
Southwest apologized to passengers for the delay in a statement, adding that safety is their highest priority, and their maintenance teams are reviewing the aircraft. The FAA is also investigating how the engine's cover, called a cowling, came loose and hit the wing flap.
There are 3 cowling latches that hold that cowling in place. So it appears that either one of those was not left latched properly or the mechanical piece itself failed.
Aviation safety analyst David Susi says a part like that should undergo at least 3 visual checks pre-flight, the first 2 conducted by ground crew maintenance.
But the last line of defense is the pre-flight inspection. The pilot is supposed to do the walk around before each flight and check those latches.
The investigation into the exact cause continues. The passengers aboard the Denver flight were all eventually rerouted to their destination of Houston, with quite a story to tell.
It was a little spicy, but we're all okay.
I'm Laura Aguirre reporting.
Southwest said its engine teams would review the aircraft, which was a Boeing 737-800. Boeing declined to comment.
Another kind of investigation took place in northern central Texas. From parks and schoolyards to college campuses, people gazed upwards from behind black polymer glasses to watch one of the rarest phenomenons, a total solar eclipse. The last time Texas was in the path of totality, back in 1878 when Rutherford B. Hayes was president. The next time we'll see one, 293 years from now. Now, I can't say for certainty what things will look like or what will happen, but I imagine that just as it happened today, millions will flock to the path of totality and it will happen all over again. So now, why is the eclipse such an important event? Well, other than the visual impact, well, Dr. Jeff Rich, professor and astronomer from the Carnegie Institute for Science, says the impact for scientific research is huge.
So total solar eclipse happens when the moon completely blocks the sun. Eclipses happen anytime the moon moves in front of the sun or the earth moves in front of the moon and blocks some amount of light from the sun. A total solar eclipse is really special because everything lines up just right that the moon moves entirely in front of the sun's disk. This only happens 1 in every 4 eclipses, and solar eclipses happen about a couple of times a year. So the trick is a total solar eclipse can only be seen from a very specific set of spots on Earth. So even though all of the United States will see some kind of eclipse today, so I came out here from California, my friends and family in California will see a partial eclipse, you have to be in the path of totality to see a total eclipse, and that's what makes this really special.
Well, today was certainly a special day here in North Texas. It's not every day you get to be in the path of totality.
Yeah, well, it looks like we're going to be dead center in another path of totality. This one a bit more stormy than before.
Yeah, true to Texas weather style, one extreme after the other. Now let's check back in with our weather anchor, Kate Klein, to get the full story on our upcoming weather. Kate?
Thanks, guys. We're going to take a look at the radar right quick to look at those severe storms that are headed our way. As you can see, they are coming in from the south and southeast, moving our direction to the north. They will be impacting us starting at 9 p.m. tonight. We might see some additional isolated storms coming in from the west, so keep an eye out for those as well. Now let's take a look at our current conditions across North Texas. As we can see, we got mostly high 70s for across the board. Gonna highlight 82 in Dallas and 80 for both Graham and Fort Worth. As we take a look at the state map, we're also gonna see mostly 70-degree weather. Gonna highlight cool 64 in Amarillo and a hot 82 in Abilene. All right, let's take a look at the 7-day forecast real quick. Starting with tomorrow, we're gonna, again, severe weather outbreak again. It's going to be a 98% of that, high of 68, low of 57. Going into Wednesday, we're going to only have rain showers. No severe risks, just rain showers, a 91% chance of that. High still in the 60s, low still in the 50s. Moving into Thursday and Friday, we're going to have sunny skies on both days, highs going into the 70s, and lows going from 44 to 55 on Friday. Saturday and Sunday for the weekend, we're going to have partly sunny skies for both days, highs going into the mid-80s, and lows going into the low to mid-60s. And then to wrap up the start of the week, for next week on Monday, we're going to have cloudy skies, high of 82 and low of 61. And that is all I have for your weather today, but make sure to stay informed on your local weather and radar apps for that severe weather that's coming our way. Back to y'all at the desk.
Thanks, Kate. Well, the Denton Police Department recently released their 2023 crime report, and some of the data may not be what you would expect. ntTV's Chris Goodwin is live at the Denton Police Department with more information. Chris?
Thanks, Kenny. That's right. There's been a surprising shift in crime trends from last year. Violent crimes have decreased while nonviolent crimes, like driving while intoxicated, have risen by nearly 30%. There were 644 DWI charges reported last year. That's a steep rise from the 511 reported in 2022. Following that trend, public intoxication and criminal trespass are also on the rise. A possible reason for this shift could be because of the change in population. Since 2022, the Denton population has grown by over 1,500 people, and the Denton call centers are feeling the effects of this increase, with there reportedly being a 2.4 increase in calls to emergency services. While most violent crime rates have decreased, aggravated assault crimes grew, as did robbery. The good news, sexual assault has decreased by 22% and murder rates remain flat. In 2023, the top 3 crimes were theft under $750, DWI, and theft under $100. That's all I have for you guys. Back to y'all to desk.
Thanks, Chris. In June, Governor Greg Abbott signed a law banning diversity, equity, and inclusion programs in the state university system, including multicultural centers and campus identity groups. This law has made it difficult for DEI student organizations to operate. But for one organization, that isn't quite the case. I talked to UNT's National Society of Black Engineers.
Knees, toes, head, go.
As SB 17's effects lingers throughout UNT, it has not let one student organization lose its momentum.
And getting to have fun events, getting to have fun meetings, getting to reconnect with people, getting to also grow in my field by coming to these meetings and learning more, that's one of my favorite parts about SB.
NSB is the National Society of Black Engineers, and it is just one of many student organizations that are at risk due to the passing of anti-DEI bills across the country. As of now, more than 30 states have introduced bills banning DEI initiatives on college campuses, with Alabama being the latest.
Take it one day at a time. At the end of the day, NSB is a whole community, so whether you're in Texas, Alabama, you're at UNT, UTA, wherever you are, we're all networked, so we're gonna be stronger together. The states who are getting rid of those things, we can band together and strategize on how to build funding, how to get things, because at the end of the day, companies are gonna reach out to talented people, and NSB has talented people at the end of the day.
NSB has proven that it is not going anywhere anytime soon.
A community, we're gonna build stronger.
Reporting for ntTV, this is Omar Martinez.
Well, President Biden has made student debt relief a cornerstone of his legislative agenda and his bid for re-election, but he's had trouble canceling the debt en masse.
Yeah, American borrowers owe over $1 trillion in debt, and Texans make up billions of that. ntTV's Chelsea Jones has more. Chelsea?
Thanks, y'all. Student loan debt has financially crippled many Americans, but in an attempt to relieve some of it, the Biden administration is taking another step to cancel that debt. It's unveiled details of a new plan to forgive student loan debt for millions. The White House says that new policies target specific groups, an example being loaners, who have balances bigger than what they originally borrowed due to interest. The proposal still needs to be finalized, and this could take months. This is the Biden administration's second attempt to implement broad student loan forgiveness. The good news is that 4 million Americans have already had their college loans forgiven through other smaller programs. That's all I have. Back to you all at the studio.
Thanks, Chelsea. Well, are you having trouble in your love life? Speed dating might be of interest to you.
And are you looking for a new video game to try? South Park and Marvel have new additions. We'll be right back.
Good evening, my name is Amanda Hasbell, and I'm joining you here today in the Union Parking Garage. Today we're going to be going over how to drive safely in the parking garage. Let's go see. Oh my God, this girl just got hit by a car. Let's go see what happened. Ma'am, are you okay?
Did you see that lady hit me with a car?
Yeah, we did. I got it all on video.
Oh my God.
Let's go over here and talk about how we can prevent that.
Yeah, not the hospital.
Well, right now we're going to ask you a couple questions on how we can drive safely in the parking lot. What are ways that we can be aware of our surroundings?
Oh, we can look both ways.
Jenna, also, how about putting the distractions away?
Yes, just like our phones, turning our music down, and also not focusing on our passengers.
Where can you get information on how to get a parking pass?
Transportation.unt.edu.
If you park in a garage, make sure you pay on the app or look for further instructions on how you should pay.
And remember, no pass, no park. Let's all try to keep our mean green community safe.
Remember, we're all in this together.
Drive safe.
Well, folks, summer is coming up. Are your thumbs tired from mindlessly swiping left and right on dating apps looking for a partner? Maybe speed dating could help you. In an effort to meet their perfect match, many people are beginning to ditch the dating apps, instead opting to meet potential partners in person. According to Eventbrite, speed dating has grown increasingly popular over the last 3 years. In fact, experts say that this could be a good option for those who prefer to make a quality first impression offline. Though speed dating can be expensive and time-consuming, experts say that most who try it will take it seriously. However, that does not mean that dating apps are now a no-go. It's still considered one of the popular ways for people to meet romantic partners and friends. A recent report from the Pew Research Center concluded that 1 in every 10 couples met on dating apps and websites.
I've been outside all day today for the eclipse, but I am ready to go and relax and play a few games.
Yeah, I mean, have you heard about any newly released games?
No, I haven't, but our segment anchor Faith has more on that. Faith?
Tons of huge releases have been announced. Marvel, South Park, and Nintendo are all releasing new video games. These releases include a snowy day in South Park, Colorado, gone wild. Marvel has announced the new 6-on-6 free-to-play game, Marvel Rivals. And what a comeback, F-Zero Maximum Velocity is now available for you to play on the Nintendo Switch. CNN reporter Rick Demigella has more on this story.
Preparing to launch a massive attack on our kingdom.
This isn't any old day in the town of South Park, Colorado. This is South Park Snow Day. The latest adventure in the You Play as the New Kid series of South Park games sends players into cooperative battles to save the town from an endless blizzard. South Park Snow Day is out now for Windows, PlayStation, Xbox, and Nintendo consoles. Racers, start your engines. F-Zero Maximum Velocity is back. Originally released for Nintendo's Game Boy Advance, the high-speed racing action is playable again through Nintendo Switch Online with an expansion pack membership.
Get ready, go!
Light of Ashanti, Strange is here.
There's more multiversal madness as Marvel Games has announced Marvel Rivals. The free-to-play, team-based shooter pits players in 6-on-6 battles with a roster of Marvel heroes and villains to choose from. No word yet on a release date. Leveling up in Hollywood, I'm Rick Damigella.
Wow, those seem like awesome releases. I'm gonna keep my eye out for the Marvel's release date. It looks like I've got a lot to go download and play. That's all from me, and back to you guys at the desk.
Thanks, Faith. So, what is your favorite video game, Kennedy?
I think my favorite is probably The Sims 4. I love to hop in, build a dream house, make my dream family, things like that. What about you?
So my favorite video game is kind of similar to yours. It's NBA 2K. You know, you get to simulate playing for an NBA team. You know, I like to play as the Mavericks, win them a couple chips. But it looks like this season they might not need my help. The NBA, the Mavs are looking very good this season, and our sports anchor Ramiro Cuellar has more with that.
Willis Library, located at the University of North Texas. It has computers, printers, and the building is open 24/7. By going online, you can book up to an hour of reserved space and one of the many private study rooms. Many of them are equipped with whiteboards, a table, and a TV to hook up to your computer. Textbooks can be checked out for free with a student ID. They also have many of these in ebook forms. This is still a library, so always remember to be quiet and respectful of other surroundings, especially in certain places where talking is not allowed. For example, the 3rd and 4th floor are completely quiet. As you can see, Willis Library has many options for students, with it offering many media sources and staying open all the time.
So a man's been walking in the desert for days at a time. He finally comes across a bar and orders a Coke.
That's not funny.
Eh? Eh?
We start off in Dallas, where the Mavericks orchestrated a remarkable 22-point comeback against the Houston Rockets, clinching a 147-136 overtime win on Sunday. Kyrie Irving and Luka Doncic led the charge, combining for 85 points. Irving's 48-point spectacle, including clutch plays in the fourth quarter and overtime, marked a career highlight. Doncic fell just short of a triple-double with 37 points, 12 assists, and 9 rebounds. The Rockets showcased grit with stand-up displays from Dylan Brooks, Fred VanVleet, and Jalen Green, but it wasn't enough to stuff the Mavs. Mavericks now gear up for an East Coast road trip, facing against Charlotte on Tuesday and Miami on Wednesday. And in a high-scoring showdown, the Dallas Stars showcased their offensive prowess, securing a 7-4 victory over the Colorado Avalanche. Wyatt Johnston's stellar performance, tallying a goal and 2 assists, fueled the Stars' dominant display. The win not only extended the Dallas lead in the Central Division, now standing 5 points ahead of Colorado with 4 games remaining, but also highlighted their consistency, with them being 9-1 in their last 10 games. This win solidifies their divisional lead as they gear up for the remaining crucial games of the season. And March Madness is reaching its conclusion, and the final 4 matchups did not disappoint. Purdue defeated North Carolina State 63-50. Purdue's defense proved to be enough to stop the hot NC State attack. Player of the Year Zach Edey ended the game with 20 points and 12 rebounds. In the other matchup, UConn defeated Alabama 86-72. Only 4 points separated the teams at halftime, but the Huskies were able to pull away in the late second half. The stage is now set for tonight's championship game. Purdue will be looking for their first NCAA title, while UConn will look to become the first back-to-back champions since Florida in 2007. And that's all information I have for today. Back to Omar and Kennedy at the desk.
Thanks, Ramiro. Omar, I've got to say, I'm kind of sad I'm not going to witness a complete totality again.
I agree. So why don't we go ahead and relive this awesome historical event once more? I want to make sure I remember every moment of it.
Yeah, I'm sure it's something that none of us will ever forget.
Absolutely. Well, thanks for watching ntTV Nightly News.
Join us again tomorrow at noon and tomorrow evening at 6 here on North Texas Television.